Welcome to the video, guys. My name is Akalytes Old Yeller, here today with Akalytes Iceman and Akalytes Munchies.
We're here to talk about
pretty laggy for a minute.
The current state of Call of Duty Cold War, Warzone, maybe throw in some Modern Warfare, and just our thoughts on everything, starting with probably the thing that's enraging everybody. I know I'm enraged by it.
Skill-based matchmaking! Just kidding.
And that's the DMR Mac10 setup that everybody is using.
Because it's goated, bro. It's goated.
It is goated. It is goated. But it shouldn't be goated. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that the man who snipes in this group, Yeller, can't challenge because he gets two hit with a marksman rifle from like way off in the distance and he loses his fights. I mean, that's ridiculous. There's no recoil. I feel like there's not even a reason to use any other guns because the Mac10 up close just melts.
It does. It is.
It's stupid insane.
I know that's Iceman's guilty pleasure, so we'll let him talk about the Mac.
Rare advocates with no shame. I run the DMR with the rapid fire barrel attachment and the Mac10. I understand why people are mad, and let me just say there have been times where I've been shot. The guy shot me twice. I was able to wing around and kill him with the Mac10. It's ridiculous. It melts.
I know. In Rebirth, I will run DMR and Mac10 sometimes just because it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. Because, I mean, you got a lot better chance of hitting those shots and being a semi-automatic. Because that thing is stupid. It should not be as good as it is. And I feel like even when they do dumb it down, it's still going to be stupid good. That's just my opinion, I feel like.
That's how it was with the GRAW in Modern Warfare. I still use it.
The GRAW's still good. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like it's hard to nerf the Mac because of the fact that the whole point of it is it's meant to be this rapid fire monster. So, yeah. I mean,
like the Mac10, Mac10 you can't even get mad at. Like, I mean, I feel like that should stay the same. I mean, the DMR is probably the biggest. DMR is probably the biggest one when you can laser beam a dude from like across the map with still being two shots and just destroy them. And it's like the recoil. There's barely any recoil. It's just dumb.
When I found out that there was a rapid fire attachment to a gun that was already like godlike, it made no sense, but I tricked it out. It's ridiculous. The Mac10 to me makes sense because it's a smaller submachine gun similar to an Uzi. So it makes sense that the fire rate would be off the chain. The recoil is kind of crazy, but if they you could kind of tweak it a little bit with some of the attachments, but I don't know, it's pretty good.
The Mac10 stock, I mean, is still a damn laser. Like,
I'm with you on the Mac10. I don't think it's as big a deal as the DMR. The DMR is just frustrating because it eliminates the use of sniper rifles. That's the whole point. That's the difference between marksman and snipers. Marksmen are really fast, but you don't get the damage, you don't get the range. The DMR, you get all of that. And so why would there be an incentive to use a Pellington or a Tundra that's bolt action when you can just laser people with a DMR? I mean, the Mac10, I think the big thing that balances out is that recoil, because you got to put on a lot of attachments to deal with it if you're more than like 10 feet away from them. So I think it balances out. The DMR, there's no recoil. It's like a two-shot. One shot in the head breaks your armor in Warzone. Another shot kills you. I mean, there's just nothing to balance out the DMR, and I'm all for that getting a nerf.
Yeah, January 14th is apparently when it's going to get nerfed. So
wonder how big of a difference it's going to really make, though. It turns it into 4 shots, and it's still freaking good.
Yeah. Moving on to our next topic of discussion. Yeller talked about it earlier. Rebirth Island. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. I think Acolytes as a whole loved it. We loved, especially me and Iceman, we came up learning Battle Royales through Blackout. We played Alcatraz Island a bunch. We loved it. Rebirth Island is literally the same thing with different texture packs, different names for the buildings. And then they went and changed it to Rebirth Mini Royale.
Yep. The whole point of Rebirth Island is you're supposed to come back until, deployment is over. And right now they got that gulag, which that gulag is not a favorite of mine. It just, I don't like it. It's very campy, don't like it.
For sure. Yeah. How do you guys feel overall though about the original Rebirth? I know how you felt, but
I liked it because it reminded me of Black Ops 4 with Alcatraz. With you, Munchies won 4 matches in a row on back in good old 2018. We're still playing Rebirth, but it was a lot funner when it was trios and you could respawn several times.
It was fun when you could throw caution to the damn wind. Like, you could just rush and...
You could land at Bioweapons Lab and just attack on the roof with all the chaos. And
really, it was a strategy, but not really that much of a strategy like now. Like, when we run it, we have a plan. So, all right, we land here, then rush up top. At the beginning, it was just rush up top and see how many people we can, assassinate or just mess with until, we died and just got rebirthed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it was called Rebirth for a reason, and now it's just Warzone. I mean,
they want to make it, Rebirth quads and just take the mini royale aspect of it away and just have the waves of respawning. I am all for it. Today is the day that it ends. So I'm curious where they're going to go with that after, time's over. So.
Yeah. I also think the bunker on Rebirth is way too chaotic for you to unlock it.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you've seen the bunker. It's in the main house under the lighthouse, I believe. And there's a briefcase that's opened with 3 pictures outside of it, and the 3 pictures lead to different locations on Rebirth Island, which you then have to go to find a number, then remember said numbers, go back to the bunker and open it. And that is way too many steps on a map like this.
Yeah, the bunker right in front of the lighthouse, right to the right of it. Yeah, it just seems like too many steps without getting killed, especially now where you're not respawning. It seems like it's too complicated of a task to really do in that short amount of time, because the games go by super fast. So,
I mean, what you get in it is it's just like a normal bunker, except you get a weapon blueprint, and I don't think that's enough of a reward to go through the hassle of doing it.
Yeah.
But
I say after this we attempt it since it's the last day of it.
Probably, but it probably won't go well. Yeah. And the last thing everybody is complaining about is everyone knows the campaign was good. It was revolutionary. The way the game feels, I think feels very well. But Cold War is very buggy.
Yes. It's gotten a little bit better since launch, but it's still kind of eh. I also don't like how when you play gunfight on Cold War, even if, like, let's say you win the round, if the other team had, I guess, a cooler kill, they show that as like the best play of the game or something. It makes no sense.
I can kind of get that if it's a cool kill. And there's sometimes like you feel like you get a cool kill and they're just getting like the last one, which I don't know, sucks sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I always like the final kill cam. I don't know, the best
I do
play.
too.
It's like if you're winning, 4 rounds to nothing, but they're getting the best play every round. It's just weird. I don't know. It's like a participation trophy. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like, okay, you killed my partner, but I killed both of you. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the people who went and grinded for the camos, because apparently the final camo isn't unlocking for a lot of people, which I think is a big bug, especially since that's in the game supposedly from launch.
Mm-hmm.
There's also there's an out of map glitch in Newtown right now, which is very game breaking.
Yeah. Before we get too far away from Alcatraz, I guess this applies to Alcatraz and Rebirth and Warzone.
You talking about the loadout drop?
The freezing of the loadout drop is ridiculous. Yep. It should have been fixed a lot. It's been over a week now. It's ridiculous. I had a game where I was frozen the whole time, and my team had to let me die in the storm because I was frozen. It's absolutely ridiculous. It makes you not want to get a loadout anymore, which is like one of the best strategic things you could do in a Rebirth or a Warzone match.
It's one of the things that set it apart from Blackout was the fact that you can get your guns. And I mean, I have never froze for a whole game, but I know everybody in Acolytes has experienced grabbing it and then freezing for 5 or 10 seconds. And I know many of us have had the screen unfreeze to find out that we got shot when we were frozen and we couldn't.
That happened to me like 5 games in a row? Yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, it's bad. Like,
it's pretty ridiculous.
I think it's
able to, even if you were under fire, you used to be able to just run up to the loadout, click one really quick, and continue running. Now you can't do that. So
I don't know. Sometimes you get lucky, and then sometimes you just sit there. And I mean, you're gonna. Yeah. If you're lucky, you'll live. But most of the time, we just get DMR'd right in the head. I mean,
I've also thought that sometimes if you're like me and you're really trying to think about which loadout you want, if you're scrolling down, it'll completely like restart you. Like you'll have to hit the button again for the loadout and then pick again. Like if you sit there for a certain amount of time, I guess, whether it's like 15 seconds or whatever it is, it's kind of ridiculous. I will say I have given Black Ops Cold War every chance, and I want to like really love it so bad. I definitely like it, but I just feel like it was not a smooth launch. It's still got some bugs in it, and you can tell that the making of the game was all very rushed.
Modern Warfare was a lot like that at launch. It was terrible.
I just think Modern Warfare as a whole, like this one, Cold War was breaking PS5s and shutting off my Xbox, and it's just stuff I've never really seen before. I guess people are experiencing that with Cyberpunk now. But
they did a whole, from what I heard, is like PS4 users and stuff, or people that like purchased the game through PlayStation. I think Xbox too. They like took the game away and gave them like a refund and everything because of how like buggy and stuff it was.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's just, I don't know how it happens. You have these games with these huge files, gigabytes, so much gigabytes, and they've got nice graphics and everything is nice, but it's choppy, it's laggy. There was a time period where I couldn't invite anybody to my party or I could invite them, but they'd accept it and they couldn't join.
You kept saying you were offline, and
Yep.
I think what it was is they were focusing too much detail on like the little things, which is good. They were forgetting like maybe major components, or maybe just forgetting one little thing, and that was probably what was crashing the system. Or maybe, like you said, maybe it was just rushed, and too many pieces were missed. So, I mean, hey, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm sure it's really hard trying to come up with these games and how it's going to run right. I don't know anything about it. I'm not tech savvy, so I mean,
I'm sure they even, I'm sure they have different divisions. Like this division focuses on the campaign, and this one does multiplayer, and this one does, battle royale. So I guarantee you, there's people who like the makers of the campaign. They're like, I did my job. I did everything right, so I didn't know the game was going to be choppy and laggy and buggy.
Yeah, because they got to come together at the end of the day and be like, hey, so in order to make this matchup like multiplayer. So if you noticed in like Call of Duty, Piccadilly, or however you say it, that was actually one of like the beginning campaign maps, and I think they come together and be like, hey, so this is a map that we use, so it'd be a good map for like multiplayer or something.
Yeah.
So
can I say I like the maps in like team deathmatch, like in quick play, but I do not like the maps in gunfight. I don't like them. They're just not good. I love the
In what, Cold War or Modern Warfare?
In Cold War, I don't like the gunfight maps, but in Modern Warfare, I like the gunfight maps. Cold War, I just don't like them.
I like
I'm picky.
The game show one. The game show one's pretty cool. But I'm with you in the sense that I felt Modern Warfares were they were good, but I felt they were too lifeless. And I feel like Cold War tried to spice it up. They have one that's like an underground train system in Germany. They have the game show. They have like a nuclear bunker in America. They have the KGB headquarters. I feel like they spent so much trying to give it life that they didn't think to like, this map doesn't flow well. I think the only map that flows well is the game show one.
I mean, there's some Warfare that I don't really like Atrium. Like that wasn't that hard of a map to make, I'm assuming. But then there's some like Hill or Pine that really seem like they don't seem small, whereas like a Stacked feels small, and that's the way the gunfight maps on Cold War feel. They just feel small. Even the KGB headquarters, because you got all those desks and stuff in the way. You can go upstairs, but it's not fun for me. I actually don't play much gunfight anymore. I stick basically with Raid or Nuketown or the Battle Royale modes. That's pretty much where you'll see me playing.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best thing Cold War has done is overall their map design is better. Obviously, like you said, the gunfight maps leave something to be desired. But I think the normal multiplayer maps are a lot better than Modern Warfare's were.
I like the multiplayer maps. Satellite is really fun to me. I know some people might not like it, but I like being able to be in the little the dunes, I guess, the hills, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Sniping people across. A lot of people complain about the snipers. I haven't really had a problem with them. Now, granted, if I had to pick, I'm probably picking a sniper from Modern Warfare. I know a lot of people like the Tundra and all that, but I just feel like they're stronger from Modern Warfare.
Here's some you're used to. I like the blueprints and stuff they can pick up in like Rebirth or even in Warzone of like the Barrel Hunter it's the Tundra.
Yeah.
That's a really good gun, especially with the scope and everything on it. I like it. I'll probably always run a car just because like the ADS down sight is a whole lot better, and I feel like I can kind of hit my shots a little bit more. It's not slow.
Yeah, I think
after running like the car for a little bit, because I was like a huge fan of the SPR and I still am, but the car ADS, how like I got it set up, is a lot faster than the SPR. Like I was trying to pick between them the other day, and after running the car so long, I ran the SPR, and the SPR was just slow, but it was still hitting its shots. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I do definitely think that the Modern Warfare guns in Warzone are better in a sense, obviously except for the DMR and the Mac10. But I mean, like Iceman, when you were watching and I was using the Tundra and I was in the final circle and I domed somebody in the head and it didn't even break their armor.
Yeah,
Like,
it's ridiculous. Usually with like a Modern Warfare sniper, you hit anybody like above like the shoulder line, you could break their armor. But he literally got a shot with the Tundra and it was just a hit marker. It was ridiculous. I was like, what? Like that's
it wasn't even, he wasn't even far away either because it was on Rebirth. And those final circles aren't big. So, I mean, I see where you're coming from that aspect. Overall, do you think Cold War is better at launch than Modern Warfare was?
I don't. I will say that I enjoyed both campaigns, but I am I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Black Ops stories. So that, seeing Woods and all those guys, Ronald Reagan, introducing Adler, I lean towards the Cold War campaign just a little more. I'd probably say it's like a 9 out of 10, and the Modern Warfare is like an 8 out of 10. Spoiler alert, the mind games played in the campaign, and I liked, messing with the Viet Cong and all that stuff. I really liked that a lot. That was the thing that, kept me trying to play Cold War, even though it would shut my Xbox off every like third use. The campaign's really solid, and they've gotten a lot of the bugs fixed, but it's still kind of choppy. So yeah, I think Modern Warfare was just better overall on launch, and even like now, even though it's not fair to say now, but it's still a smooth running game. I like the graphics, it's good. Cold War is only a month or two old, so
yeah, that's why I was talking about at launch. Obviously, obviously Modern Warfare has that polish that Cold War really hasn't had the chance to get. What about you, Yeller? Do you think it's better than it was at launch than Modern Warfare, or?
No, I mean, it was cool and all, but when I got Modern Warfare, it wasn't as glitchy, and it wasn't kicking me off the game, and it wasn't like. So when I was running the first mission and Cold War, it kept kicking me off, and I had to like restart my PS4, hook up my PS4 or my controller through like without using Bluetooth and all this other stuff, because if I didn't, I'd have to keep restarting it. So definitely Modern Warfare, I didn't have as many bugs as many bugs or glitches or anything like that.
Do we have any final thoughts? Anything we missed on Cold War?
I think we hit it all, really.
All right, well, I think that's it for this video. Acolytes Iceman out.
Acolytes Old Yeller out.
They already went out. I don't have to say bye.
That's your cue. That's your cue, Munchman.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Iceman, making it look easy as usual.